When we consulted with the first surgeon, I remember him saying to me, be careful where you get your information. Be careful about doing research online. He said, here are some places that you can go that I feel confident about their information. And one of those was Susan G. Komen. And so I remember going on there, and I was so impressed with the wealth of information. And one of the things that I benefited greatly from at that particular point in the journey was they had questions to ask your doctor on every topic you can imagine in the whole process. And each time I would go to the surgeon, or each time I was going to meet with the radiologist or the oncologist, I would go back to that site and print those off, and it was such a help.
And I started doing the races more and asking more questions and reaching out to more people and wanting to help them with support. So I think it was more of a necessity that I felt like I needed to be able to help more people, and I couldn't do it by myself, but I can do it with Komen.
The efforts to get the word out, you know, getting a mammogram and getting that information out to men and women. They always have new committees out to reach different people, to reach Hispanics, to reach African Americans. They're trying to get the word out, you know, to know you're normal, and to go and if you get your mammograms, and if you can't afford your mammogram, then they can help you, or they can provide resources for you. And unfortunately, people don't seek this information out until it affects them directly. So our job is to get the information out to people before it gets to them, and to get it out to their family members, you know, before they're diagnosed.
We're so lucky to have a regional Komen offices, because the entire U.S. is not covered by a local office. Not everybody has that as a resource. So we're extremely lucky to have one in our area. One of the wonderful things that our local affiliate has been working to do is to make sure that we are doing everything we can for our community, no matter what part of that community it is you're a part of. Whether you're part of the Hispanic community, one of our rural communities, whether you're part of the African American community, to show that we're here to serve everyone.
I heard the ladies on the radio saying that there are funds out there, and at first I was kind of skeptic to call because I'm a nobody. I didn't think, and everything. So I called them, and thanking Miss Parrish, she got me started, which was a blessing. I was terrified because I do have breast cancer in my family. Thank God they're surviving, but I didn't want to be the one who didn't survive.
When you're sick, you don't want people to look at you and say, oh, you poor thing. You don't want that. You just don't. And I think that Komen gives us the strength and the ability for people not to look at us and say, oh, you poor thing.
And just at that point on, just seeing so many people touched with cancer and a lot of people supporting them there, it just did something to me that day. I thought, I've got to be a part of this. And so we've had a team every year.
It made me feel good that there were actual people out there that do care and that are willing to help a nobody, so to say. And I think it's great. I wish there was more people out there like that. They've sent me an application to be a volunteer, which I've already got filled out. I just got to send it back in, which I'm all willing to do that very much. They're willing to take care of me. I got to give something back to them. The questions I have, all I got to do is pick up the phone and call them and ask them, and they're right there with an answer. They're not, well, let me get back to you, and they answer me right then and there, which is very, very rare for somebody to do. And to actually call somebody and have a person answer the phone instead of a automated system and everything, except for weekends.
Years ago, people wouldn't even say breast cancer, they may say cancer. And when you heard that, you immediately thought, okay, this person has cancer, they're going to die. So now I want to continue. Even after this, it's something I want to continue because so many women don't know, and they don't know the signs to look for, what's going on, what should I be concerned about. So it's something I want to continue. It's not something I want to do right now because it's hot, it's the end thing. It's something I want to continue to do, to help and to educate. Know what's normal for you. and know that you have support, and don't be fearful, don't be afraid to get checked out, to find out if something is wrong and the next steps to get to where you need to be. The thing is not knowing and not wanting to know. We know what the end result's going to be. You know, that's going to happen. But the most important thing is to find out what's available, talk to your doctor, and be totally honest. So if there is a situation, it can be taken care of. And even afterwards, if you feel like you don't have anybody, you don't have family, some people are just alone, that they can reach out, you know, and get involved with Komen and say, what can you offer to me? What can I do?
I think Komen is very important for our community and trying to get the word out into our 11 counties, because, you know, for the longest time people just think it's only for Forsyth and Guilford, and we're trying to get more involvement out in the other communities by having the Faces campaign and getting our BSEP nurses more involved, and plus we grant out into all 11 counties. All 11 counties get funding, and it's very important for people to realize what we do, because some people just think we only are the race, and it's more than that. You know, we do volunteer events where we are at health fairs, you know, different things at churches, different activities people have, women's groups, you know, speaking and getting the word out there, letting them know that we're here for you. You know, if you need anything, call. You know, we'll find somebody who can be that support. If you don't have that support, we'll find somebody that can be a support for you when you're going through your journey.
And I've noticed that Komen is really good about saturating, you know, themselves places. Because even when I was out probably a few months ago, I was even out of work then, and I was at the farmer's market, and they had the setup out there in Greensboro, and I'm like, wow, they're out there, and they had drawings, people were coming around, and I think it was an awesome way to really, you know, be out and people can see you, you know, and that's how they find out about you. They find out more about the cause, and even visiting. I mean, that might, you know, cause someone to say, you know what, I need to go get that checkup I keep putting off. So I really find that they do really well being out, being visual.
We say 1 in 8 women is diagnosed. Well, what that means is 7 aren't. And so the possibility that you aren't going to have an issue is greater than the possibility that you will. However, if you do find something and you need assistance with that, the earlier that you can find that, the better.
She didn't have insurance. She didn't know where to go. She didn't know who to ask. She knew she still needed things, but what is she supposed to do if she has no insurance and no way to pay for it? Because there's not a doctor out there that's going to do that for her for free, and this is where Komen fills that void. And it makes me so proud to be involved with Komen now, and to know that we're helping people like that, you know. And this lady that we helped out, I'm sure she'll sign up for the race. I'm sure if she knows somebody that needs help, she's going to send them to the same people that reached out to her. And that's what Komen has given our 11 counties. It's given them more options and more ability to know things quicker, to learn if you have breast cancer before it's too late to do something about it.
It has made a tremendous impact. I have another friend that I met through my journey through breast cancer who had no insurance, and they were able to get her 100% help, and she's now a survivor, and I don't know what she would have done without help. So I know they've helped her 100%, impacted her life. You know, they see the pink ribbon, and you know, they congratulate you on your survivorship if they see anything. They ask about you, especially if they're breast cancer survivors too. They're more easily to approach you and everything. You don't even have to have breast cancer to volunteer or be a part of Komen. You know, I just can't say enough about it. It's just, I don't know, words can't come to me to tell you how much it means, because the impact is great of what it can do for you.
I think their impact is awareness, and I believe that it's a support impact, and it's empowerment, because cancer takes so much away from you, and you don't realize it until you go through it, or you know somebody intimately that is going through it. And Komen helps to ease those things. I mean, we offer things like helping you keep your house clean. Somebody to come over and just chat with you and make you feel better or help you to feel better. Or sometimes just somebody to talk to in general. And Komen has so many arms and so many people that can offer those kind of services and make sure that everybody's taken care of.
Well, I think for me, like I said, in thinking about Komen today and what that has meant in my life for the last year and a half, 2 years, is community and support and family and hope. Komen is about so much more than maybe we even realized. And it's about serving others. It's about our community. It's about helping our friends and neighbors to get the help and the support that they need and that they deserve.
You can't do it alone. You've got to have support, whether it be family or friends. And if you don't have that, then you need to find it somewhere. And if you can't find it, you need to call Komen, because they will find that support for you, and they will find it with somebody that you feel comfortable with and that you have that connection with.
And they're there to help, which is very, very, very unusual and very, very, very rare. And if they hadn't been there for me, I don't know what I would have done. I mean, I've not been diagnosed with breast cancer, but you know, I've been diagnosed with masses. And if it comes out to be breast cancer, I know they're going to be there for me. If not, they were still there for me. Not just financially, but emotionally.